Shalom, everyone. This is Amir Tsofati. I am live from Galilee, Israel. These are breaking news. It's events that took place in two different parts of the world. They took place hours apart, but both of them are very, very unusual and very, very alarming. And I wanted to report that because we've been hearing bits and pieces in the international media, but I want to put everything together. Okay, so I want to welcome people from Singapore, Australia, Philippines, Europe. Some Canadians are still awake. I'm not sure why, but it's good to see you. I'm glad that I know that this is the time where America is asleep, but nevertheless, these are breaking news. I want you to share it with as many people as you can. Again, two major events took place overnight and early morning Israel time. And one of them took place in the Iran Iraq area, and the other one took place in the Ukraine this morning. And so we're going to start with the first one, okay? Okay, so March 11, 1:20 a.m. Actually, it was March 11 in America. Excuse me, it was March 13, 1:20 a.m. Um, we had 12 ballistic surface-to-surface missiles that were fired from Iran towards the American consulate in Erbil, Kurdistan, in northern Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a proxy, this is not an Iranian backed militia in Iraq. This is the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. It's an official Iranian attack on a base that is within the international airport of Erbil in northern Iraq, in Kurdistan area. And this is something that you need to understand that is quite unprecedented. This is so far all the attacks on Erbil were of the proxies of Iran. This is something different. 12 ballistic missiles. Let me show you the distance that these missiles did from the Tabriz missile base all the way to the Erbil consulate, 171 miles. That's a very long distance, and 12 ballistic missiles. If you want to see what it looked like, take a look at this video right now. All right, you just saw 12 ballistic missiles hitting Erbil. Now, let me tell you what the Iranian sources are saying, okay? First of all, official Iran is keeping silent, okay? So that's one thing. Second, you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the exact timing was 1:20 a.m. It was exactly the time that Soleimani was killed by the Americans in uh, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And if that's not January of 2020, if that's not enough, they chose the weekend of the birthday of Soleimani. Probably, see, he's born March 11, and so this is the weekend of his birthday. That's the time of his death, and that's a symbolic thing. So obviously, you see that there's something that they had against America while attacking the American base. All of that happens when America is just disgracefully is still running after Iran, begging Iran for another nuclear deal in Vienna. But now, let me tell you what the non or unofficial sources are saying that this attack was all about. So the Iranians, for the longest time, claimed that the Israeli Mossad has a base of operation in Erbil, right there in that area. They claim that Israel conducted several strikes from that place. And therefore, they say this is a response to the Israeli attacks on Iran that came or were commanded from that base. In other words, they're saying, no, 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 we're not attacking Americans. This is not against America. But yet they attacked an American base, and they are attacking an American consulate in a foreign country. So that's a double game that the Iranians are playing. It is a shameful thing that America is still considering even having any deal with Iran. But I want you to know 12 surface to surface ballistic missiles hit Erbil overnight at the exact time of the killing of Soleimani, in the exact weekend of the birthday of Soleimani. This is a message that the Americans had to receive from the Iranians. And may I add, all this baloney about Israeli Mossad base is just to cover their tracks and to somehow try not to say what they really did, and that is an official Iranian attack on Americans. Iran attacked America. There's no other way to say that. And that happened at 1:20 a.m. Okay, now let me tell you another thing that happened earlier this morning, a few hours later. Russian Air Force attacked for the first time an international base right there, international base in about, about 10, 12 miles away from the Polish border. In fact, this is how they posted it. Missile bombing of Ukraine by Russia, where 20 kilometers to the EU and NATO, because that's Poland. So you see that's it's even west of Lviv. Now, there are mass casualties there. We're talking about, some reports originally were of 9 dead. Now they're talking about 20 dead and over 50 people wounded. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But this is not a regular attack. This is an attack on a base where Ukrainian soldiers supposedly are being trained by NATO and US forces as peacekeeping forces. Now, that's what they say, peacekeeping forces. I think that what the Russians think is that actually this is an unofficial NATO base within the Ukraine to train the Ukrainians by NATO to fight. And therefore, we are getting closer and closer to the point of clash between Russia and NATO. And this is as close as we got so far. This is a big deal, very big deal. And the last thing I wanted to, there's more pictures, but it's if you go to Telegram, download Telegram Messenger, find my channel there, and you'll be able to see all the pictures, the videos, and everything. I update it every few minutes. The last thing I want you to say is that there were some peace talks between Iran and Saudi Arabia over the last few months. Oh, obviously, Saudi Arabia is not a good friend of Iran. Iran is not in love with Saudi Arabia. It was just, but Iran suspended all talks with Saudi Arabia as of this morning. Why? Because over this weekend, Saudi Arabia executed over 80 radical Islamists, of which over 50 of them were Shiites. And therefore, Iran looked at that as a hostile action, and they suspended all. So we're back on the track of clash between Iranian militias and Saudi Arabia. And so escalation in the Saudi Peninsula, escalation in Europe, and escalation in between Iran and Iraq. And all of that in the background, you see Israel and America. A lot of stuff is going on. And so when we talk about wars and rumors of wars, this is exactly what we're talking about. And if you haven't watched the roundtable that was there last night, and on that topic, go ahead and to our YouTube channel, watch the Prophecy Roundtable with Jan Markel, Barry Stagner, Mike Golay, and myself talking about wars and rumors of wars. Good. Thank you. Please share this with as many people as possible. Again, breaking news. um, uh, 12 ballistic missiles from Iran towards northern Iraq to hit American base. They claim it's against Israelis, but of course it was the timing of the time and the date, as well as the location, left no doubt that this is all about Iranian attack on America, some sort of a little tiny revenge on the killing of Soleimani. As much as they can, they will do it because they are suffering from a big shame as their big leader and big hero was killed so easily by the Americans 2.5 years ago. All right, listen, I'll keep you updated. Please share it with as many people as you can. Thank you for answering my plea to pre-order my book, Revealing Revelation. If you haven't done so, do that. It seems like on the ranking on Amazon is really going very high, both for the book and the workbook. And it's good because we are getting now attention from so many secular venues that wants to offer this book in their places as well. So if you haven't done so, go to Amazon, Revealing Revelation, get that book pre-ordered. And the minute the book will be launched, you will be the first to get it. Good. Thank you. God bless you, and shalom from Galilee. Bye-bye.